Hey there, friends. How are you doing this week? It's me, Brad Comgenic, and we're back with episode 11 of the incredibly famous show, at least in my mind. Have I told you about this? So, over the past week during the holiday break, I watched a lot of older YouTube videos. Why older? Well, because as I've found out over the years, all the YouTube creators go away at the end of the year, as they should. Everybody needs a break around the holidays. And that means the rest of us are left with catching up with our back catalog and their earlier shows that we might have missed. So over the past week, I watched a ton of this older show that's still going on today, by the way, named Game Sack. And they're shows made by the incredible Joe Redifer. Joe, I've never met you, but I certainly appreciate all the hard work and video editing that goes into your shows. Miss Dave, I wish he was still a part of the show, but you certainly kept the banner going on the show with even all the new ones. And I I can't tell you how many hours I spent over the last weekend just simply watching GameSack. Again, Joe is just an amazing video editor, and the GameSack show has been going on for many, many years. So you have a ton of back episodes to catch up on, which I did. And a couple of the games that Joe featured were The House of the Dead and its series and many iterations, all the way from the arcade to console releases. And as well, Donkey Kong Country 3 for the SNES. And as it always does, my mind then took me back to those games and the very first few times I played them and all the memories and feelings that I've associated with those games. Of course, that always takes me down the rabbit hole then of having to just cannot be satisfied with playing the game or seeing the game. I need to do a deep dive into all the information so that I can come and share it with you. That's where my mind took me. So before I start with this week's show, I do want to thank all of you who have taken the time to like, subscribe, comment, and maybe even just tell your friends about this little show. You know, it's very slowly gaining momentum, which I totally expect to be the case. Look, I'm in this for the long haul. And I'm very happy with where we're at after only 10 released episodes. But I sure would appreciate it if you could just take a simple second to click on that like and subscribe, and then leave a comment in the comment section. I'm always asking for your feedback, and I'm always asking, how do you feel about the games that games or shows or whatever's on my mind that week? What are your thoughts on those? Love to see more comments. I will interact with each and every one you have, my promise. No AI here. It all comes straight from me. So if you would do that, man, my heart would just feel like the Grinch, three sizes larger. Again, it's not so I can make any money. This channel will never, ever be monetized. It's only to help the channel get more eyes on it. And because the more people that we have watching and talking about it, the bigger our community can grow. But again, thank you all who have liked, subscribed, and commented and told your friends. I see you. I look at the stats and I appreciate you. Now, on with the show. You know, there's just something that was magical about the late 80s and the 90s in video games. Something about the way the games felt back then. They weren't just entertainment. They were experiences. There were memories that are attached to the games. Playing the games stuck with you in ways that most games today just simply don't. Now, I'm not saying none do. I have a lot of great memories about very current games. But man, there's just something about these older retro games that stick with you. You know, there were places you could go when the real world sometimes felt a little too loud, or maybe even a little too quiet, or most often just too complicated. So today, I want to take you back to two very different corners of that decade. One corner is loud and chaotic and drenched in blood and zombies. It smells like popcorn and carpet cleaner and ozone and CRT monitors and the rumble of plastic handguns colored neon blue and red. Of course, we're in the arcade, and in the middle of it stands a cabinet that terrified and thrilled an entire generation. The House of the Dead and its series of games. Now, in the other corner, we are simply packed with characters that we grew up with. And we had this new graphics technology that made it kind of feel like you were playing a cartoon. At least that's what all the reviewers were talking about back at the time. Now we're in your living room, and you've got your Super Nintendo humming underneath your big CRT tube TV. We're in a world of forests and waterfalls and kind of gentle jazzy music. And it's Donkey Kong Country 3, the final masterpiece of the SNES area. 2 games, 2 worlds, 2 totally different emotional experiences, but yet both of them shaped us and left us with some great deep memories. So today, as I always do, I'm going to dive deep into both of these. We're going to be talking gameplay, history, secrets, memories, and meaning. So with that, let us dive right in. We'll start with the House of the Dead. The House of the Dead was released in arcades way back when the dinosaurs ruled the world in 1997. It was released by Sega AM1. Now, the House of the Dead just isn't a game. It's an experience. It's a moment. It's a cultural lightning bolt at the time. This cabinet demanded your attention. You couldn't walk by and just continue to walk by. You had to stop because you were hearing these amazingly loud gunshots and screams and moans and zombies. It was like nothing you'd seen before. The second you picked up that plastic light gun and heard that trigger clicking, you knew you were about to be in trouble. You knew you were soon going to be fighting for your life. You knew you were about to scream, reload, and scream again and keep shooting. This game didn't whisper. It roared. Absolutely roared. So let me start with the facts of the background of the game. I've already mentioned it was developed by Sega AM Division 1. Published by Sega, of course, back in 1997, first in the arcade. Now, the genre is called light gun rail shooter. Why that? Well, you get the rail shooter part because the game moves you. It literally moves you. You don't move yourself. And it puts you where it wants you, and it makes you face different things, right? There's tension in that. And that's why rail shooters can be great when they're done correctly. Of course, light gun, because you're holding a light gun. You're shooting at the screen. This was a game where you would shoot a certain amount of bullets that you had in the chamber. Then you would have to shoot off of the screen to reload and then shoot back on. There were no buttons necessarily to reload on the gun itself. But this was so much more than just a game. It was literally an experience. This game and the developers wanted nothing more than for you to feel like you stepped into a horror movie. Now, it's a bad B-level horror movie with the worst dialogue you've ever heard, okay? But it's still a horror movie with tension and drama nonetheless. This mansion that you are in, it's not just a backdrop. This thing is alive and breathing. Every hallway feels like it's moving and dirty and grimy and slimy. Like I said, it feels like it's breathing. Every corner just felt like it was waiting to betray you, and you didn't know how. That was the suspense. And the enemies, oh my gosh, grotesque, sometimes bulbous and fat, twitching, stumbling experiments. They were unlike anything else in the arcades at the time. We look back at the graphics now and the screenshots you're seeing, and by the way, these are multiple versions of the game that I'm showing here so that you can get a feel for what the whole series was like. But at the time, if you look back at just the House of the Dead right now, you would say, "Oh, those are bad graphics." Well, of course, you've got almost photorealistic graphics in nearly every current game you're playing now. So, of course, this is not going to look the world's greatest to you. But you have to put yourself back in 1997 when you had never seen anything like this before. So let's dive now really, really deep into the gameplay. The gameplay loop of the House of the Dead, as it was in 1997, still remains the same today in any new versions of the game they've made. As I mentioned, the game moves you automatically. You don't control it. Therefore, you are pushed into situations whether you like it or not. And that, my friend, causes tension. You feel yourself just tensing up and all the muscles contracting. It's hard to play this game for long lengths of time in the arcade. Not only are you holding the gun out, but your muscles are just so tense because you just don't know what's coming around. Even if you play this thing multiple times, there's branching paths you can take. So you might never see the same game the same way twice. As I mentioned, you aimed your light gun at the screen, and as you did, you would shoot, and you would, be able to see whether you're hitting or not. Also, with light gun games in the arcade, sometimes the calibration gets off, and so you hope that every morning the arcade operators are recalibrating the guns, but trust me, that doesn't always happen. So your first few games, it's always best just to start shooting, right? Just to see where, okay, I'm shooting here, but it's like 25 pixels to the left is where I'm hitting. So that's how I'm going to have to play this game, right? So the whole object is to shoot enemies before they reached you, or whatever they threw at you hit you and took off a portion of your life. Again, you had to reload by pointing your gun off of the screen and pull the trigger, and then you could reload. That time that it takes is just enough time for you to nearly die. So you need to get very good at that, doing it very quickly. The goal was to save as many civilian, like doctors, as you could, right? They were all in danger of dying, and very rapidly. It's the rare person who saves every single civilian doctor in this game. I personally have only done it on the home console versions when I can set the game's difficulty to easy, give myself the maximum amount of lives, and sometimes even unlimited ammo. So it's a hard game. Don't ever expect to just waltz in and save everybody in the game. It's pretty impossible to do. I'm sure there's people that have done it. I've never seen them do it. And also, you fought bosses. And uniquely here, they would show you the boss. They would have an entrance cinematic, and then it would stop, and it would give you a picture of the boss, and then you would see the words weak points, and then they would be circled. There's your clue. Bada bing, bada boom. That's where I need to be shooting. Don't shoot anywhere else. That health bar is not going to go down anywhere until you shoot the weak points. But at least they do that for you for every single boss. And what you find is in later versions of the game, when you're fighting something with a tentacle, this is where you're going to be inserting quarters and dying a lot, because you have this tiny little hitbox that's flipping all around the screen like a fish out of water. I just hated it when any tentacled boss came on the screen. So the Sega Model 2 hardware made everything fast and frenetic and absolutely terrifying. You see, the zombies didn't just kind of shamble and walk. They would lunge at you. They would throw things at you. They snapped at you. Some sprint at you. And the bosses, utter nightmares that seemed to take forever to kill. I remember in the arcades, this is a quintessential quarter muncher, because you will pretty much die multiple times before you even get to the first boss. And then when you do get to the first boss, you'll die again. So it's more quarters. That's why I really enjoy playing these light gun rail shooters more on the home consoles because then they can be a little bit more leisure, right? And I can take my time. I can learn the patterns of the bosses, and I can actually have a chance. In the arcade, I just knew this was going to be an incredibly fun, immersive experience that I would play maybe $2-3 in and then walk away because that would have to be the end of it. One time I remember being at Aladdin's Arcade in what was called Castleton Square Mall, and I saw this game for the first time. And if you watch the show for any time, you know that my mom would give me a $10 roll of quarters and say, make it last. So when I saw this game on this particular day, I had $3 in quarters left. That was it. That's all I had. And I wanted to play the game, but it had such lines. I had to wait. So I waited till I had $3 left and then went up, and the arcade was getting ready to close pretty soon. So the lines were way down for the game. And I ended up spending absolutely all $3 on the House of the Dead. And of course, being such a new experience to me, I didn't even make it past the second boss. But I walked away feeling like I had just survived a horror movie with my heart just racing and pounding. And my mind was racing as I was dying to see how the story would go and would end. And I couldn't get good enough to end it by myself. And I knew in that moment this game was different, but it was different in a good way. Few games leave you thinking about the game after you're done playing it. I also remembered there's just no way we'll ever get this game on home consoles. It looks too good, it moves too fast, and then there's the whole light gun thing, and light gun games just don't sell very well. But how wrong I was. How wrong I was. And then years later, to come around full circle, I remember getting the House of the Dead on the Sega Saturn. And I was one day playing it with my son. And then it hit me. This game, the same game that had terrified me as a kid, I was playing and laughing with my son as we were just blasting zombies together and getting through the game with fairly easily when there was two of us, together. It was such a weird and beautiful moment where nostalgia and fatherhood collide. The game hadn't changed at all. It was the same game. But boy, I sure had. And so had my circumstances. And I still love the game to this day. But when you strip away the zombies, you take the gore out, you take away the screaming civilians, the frantic reloads, the House of the Dead is really just a game about pressure. It's about pressure, emotional pressure, psychological pressure, and of course, the physical pressure. And that's what makes this game and this series so unforgettable. So unforgettable. The game, it understood something that most shooters in this era just didn't. Fear isn't about what you see. It's what you anticipate might be around every corner. And the pacing in this game is masterful in that area. You are just never allowed to breathe for a moment. Only the cutscenes allow you a short respite from the action. That's why most people can't tell you a single thing about the cutscenes or the story. And again, friends, it's schlock B-movie stuff anyway, right? With a guy that they couldn't even, the creative team named one of your main characters G, the letter G, right? Not a lot of brain trust thought going into these things, but you needed these cutscenes because any break from the action was a chance to calm down for a minute and prepare for the next onslaught, right? You anticipate something waiting for you around every single corner, and the game always provides it. The game pushes you forward room after room, and you're not in control of that. And that, my friends, is scary. Imagine going to a haunted house around Halloween, and it's, maybe the Terrifier house, which was rated the most scariest house this past Halloween. season at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. And imagine somebody just with their hand right in the middle of your back and just keep marching forward. You're never allowed to stop. And they were pushing you the whole way through. Hallway after hallway, scare after scare after scare, with no chance to stop and think. See, every civilian in this game then becomes a moral test. This was my biggest hurdle with this whole series of games. I always felt like a failure if even one civilian died, and in the original game, usually the first civilian died. You have to be really, really good and fast on that trigger to kill the zombies that are about to kill the first civilian lady in the game. I always totally just felt like a failure when that happened. I almost just wanted to just kill myself immediately and go back, even at the beginning of the game, and try it again, right? But of course, with games costing 50 cents at this time, you take your losses and you move on. But especially, I later figured out that many of the first games, branching paths, would not even open unless all the civilians were rescued. Every branching path also becomes a consequence. Every boss becomes a metaphor for a different kind of fear. And the emotional control of the game is simple. It's the fear of losing control. As I mentioned, you're pushed forward. You never know what's around the corner. You've got your gun always aimed, if you're smart, at the center, because it's the quickest radius to move around at any point where anything might be, right? But what that does is you tend to just want to go bang, 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 and then all of a sudden you hear reload, 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 reload. The guy just won't stop. Reload, reload. And I'm like, why is my gun not shooting? And then you have to, oh yeah, now I have to shoot off the screen and now everything attacks me. This is just a whole game about losing control. It's a game that weaponizes helplessness and somehow makes that helplessness thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. It's what keeps you coming back for more. Friends, at the Galloping Ghost Arcade, which you've heard me mention many times throughout the 10 episodes so far, it's the world's largest arcade. It's in Brookfield, Illinois, and it's ran by the nicest guy on earth, a gentleman named Doc Mack. Doc has a special version of the arcade game, and it's enclosed in black curtains from way above your head all the way to the floor, so all light is only focused on the screen. And that sound system has such a deep subwoofer that you feel every thump in your chest and every moan and every scream. I can tell you, I can only play that game a few times and then I have to stop and take a break and get out of there. It's such an incredible experience. I wish everyone who loves games, particularly this series, could get over to the Galloping Ghost Arcade and give it a shot. Again, I'm not sponsored by the Galloping Ghost Arcade in any way, but let me just tell you a little bit. World's largest arcade. They also have a massively large pinball room. You pay one price. It's like $20, $25 for the day. I think you might pay a little even more, maybe $5 more for the pinball room. But you can come and go all day long as you please, and they're open till like 2 o'clock in the morning. So you can go leave, grab lunch, come back. You can go to the Brookfield Mall that's pretty close, and you can shop, come back, do whatever you want. Just come and go. But friends, there's over 1,070 arcade games there across multiple buildings. It's like a city block. It's amazing. And Doc keeps everything in tip-top shape and running. I mean, I can't speak enough about it. You've got to get there. Check it out on the web at gallopingghostarcade.com. Now, back to House of the Dead. Why does this game still matter? Why does anybody care about it today? Well, the House of the Dead still matters because it represents a moment in gaming history where arcades were more than just places to kill time. They were arenas. See, the game is a time capsule of the 90s arcade experience, right? I can remember the sticky floors of Aladdin's castle where people, they try to bring their drinks in, they get stopped at the front of the door. So they're trying to chug everything down, drinks going everywhere. It's all over the floor. The neon lights and the neon carpet. The roar of all of these arcade machines blaring all at once, the clank of the tokens hitting through the machine, the adrenaline of just one more try, and this time I know I'll have the run. It's a reminder of a world where games weren't just solitary things. They were communal. They were shared experiences. They were alive. And this is way beyond nostalgia. The game's influence is literally everywhere. It's in modern zombie movies, modern zombie shooters, VR rail shooters, and even how horror movies are paced. But here's the real reason it matters. It's one of the few games that made you feel something physical. The racing heart, the tension, the stress, the how can I better myself? How can I get better at this? Your palms were sweating, your arms were aching from holding that gun after long play times. It was tactile, it felt real to you. It was just unforgettable all the way around. Now, I tell you what, let's actually go to some gameplay. And I'll give you a little bit here as we move along of the just some background information. And what I may need to do is adjust some sound levels here for you. I can turn that up a little bit. Hopefully you can still, because I really can't hear it myself. So hopefully that's not too loud. But you're going to get to see the House of the Dead 3 is what I'm showing you here. Okay, in the House of the Dead 1, there was a boss called the Magician boss. And originally, this boss turned out to be so hard that Sega had to spend a couple of months toning him down many levels before the developers themselves could even finish the game. Isn't that crazy? Now, of course, it's an arcade game, so quarter munching matters. What's quarter munching? They want you to keep putting quarters into the machine. That machine costs thousands and thousands of dollars for the arcade. They need to make it up. They need those tokens and quarters from your pocket to always be going into the machine. That's why the games were so hard back then. Just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, get this. I didn't know this until I did this deep dive, but now I can understand it going back and looking at the game. This game used absolutely real animal organs, dead animal organs, for texture references for the game. So what you are looking at when you're seeing stuff that looks meaty is dead animal organs that they had put like blood on and things. Absolutely crazy. But there's your realism. Now, as I mentioned, the voice acting was B-movie bad. Okay, it was bad. And let me tell you, they wanted B-movie bad, and they succeeded. This is by far some of the worst voice acting in a video game ever. Absolutely ever. But it's laughably bad in a good way. And as I mentioned before, you need the breaks in the game. You absolutely need them. You need to calm down a little bit. You need to untense, loosen up a little bit before you move into the next stage of the game. But that voice acting, like go back and watch some videos of it yourself. Oh my gosh, is it bad? And just to think the guy's name's G. We really can't think of a better name for somebody than G, right? Of course, many of my friends said, "Oh, it's like G-Man, like government man, right?" They just call him G, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay," but they never once referenced that in the game anywhere at all. So, anyway, fun backstory, right? And then this game has multiple endings, and do you know, of course, what it depends on which ending that you get. It's how many civilians that you save, these doctors. Now, in this game, what's really cool is once you save them, they always walk up and give you something. Usually it's going to be more health because you're always running out of health badly. Sometimes it might be a power up or more ammo, right? But you are going to have, for sure, you're going to have them give you something when you save them. But the minute they die, I mean, at the end of each level, you see a screen with all the civilians on it, and it'll tell you how many you could have saved and how many you actually did save. All right. So let's just watch a little bit of the gameplay, and let's discuss what we're seeing. Like, check out these dudes that are coming up here in a moment. Oh, you see the turning coin there? You want to keep shooting that, and you'll notice you get 100 times every time you shoot it. And here's a rescue of a civilian, right? So you got to shoot and keep shooting, keep shooting. Okay. Now here in the House of the Dead 3, they don't come up and give you anything. It just comes on the screen and tells you what you get. Also, I hate birds. The hitboxes are so tiny on birds, and when they come back to hit you, they're so fast. So always be looking around too for things like the ground that you can be shooting. And this guy's like a security guard. I mean, what security guard would have had heads on a club? Oh, and there's the thing that shows you the weak point, right? So you need to be shooting this dude in the head as he's coming at you, right? This particular section of the game reminds me of the T-Rex section in the Jurassic Park light gun shooter as well. But here, you always want to start with the people in the front because they're closest to you. Let's see what he gets here. This guy's got a girder he's holding. That guy too. There's a chair back there he should be shooting. Missed it. Back to the face on this guy. Notice all the times he's hitting that red boss. You first got to take that off before his life bar goes. That's like his armor. See, once again, you're being pushed up. And you're looking at the left. Oh, is he going to come? Or what? Oh, no, we're going inside. Oh, and look, right there. They're on me already. And here comes a bunch more that weren't there just a second ago. I love the big fat guys. You always want to shoot the stomach, right? But that's not where you shoot the head and they'll die immediately. All right, still same. Shoot the head, shoot the head, shoot the head. The red thing goes away, and then I can get a little bit of the green bar going. All right, well, we can't go that way. You hear the guy moving around, but you kind of move this way. Turn around, here he is again. Back to the head. Back to the head. Keep going. No, all right, you got him. He's done. Now we can move forward. And again, so here's one of those cutscenes. All right, now there's a guy with the one-track mind. Reminds me of Rogan. So here's your results screen, which gives you your score and your rank. He got an A rank, and the bonus life of 1, which is not bad. A little bit of cutscene here. We've got Lisa and G, I think, is the other guy. Now here you get to select your next level. This gives these games replayability out the wahoo. Like you can go one way, you can go the other way. The next time you can go another way. Depends on what grade you got the previous as to what the next level is going to be. Many times you'll see elevators and you can shoot up or down. Many people don't know that. They just get in the elevator. Shoot the buttons. Shoot everything in these games. Right? Shoot absolutely everything. Because you never know what you're going to find. Of course, everybody shoots boxes. But you want to shoot lights and everything else. All right. So here, the main bad villain is basically showing us that the whole reason he's doing what he's doing with these zombies is to try to help his son come back to life. So again, there's a little bit of story here, but not a lot. So we move on to chapter 2. All right, and they're going to come out of the elevator here. Looking around. Yeah, it was Curian. That was the guy's name. And he's basically telling this Lisa because her dad was in the previous game with G. And he's telling her, oh, this is what your dad did. She had no clue what her dad did. Again, yeah, there's a little story here. See, notice the boxes of paper that go flying and the stuff that was in there. There's another box back there he could be shooting. Got it. Bats. Oh my gosh, I hate bats. Okay, yep. He shot the thing at the top and got this guy. And the coin fell out over there. He should be shooting the coin. See, 1, 2, 7. Good extras. Oh, the squiggly things. Yeah, those are bad. Yeah, and okay, there's more things on the ceiling. There's a door. See, you can shoot up or down right there. He shot down. Let's go down. So here we go. There's the box. Get the box. Okay, got it. Okay, now we're going down. Door will open. Oh, yeah, we're not even going to wait. And I love the hit detection on the different limbs. You can shoot anything, anywhere, anytime. And it'll show on whatever you're shooting. There's another rescue, right? Look, 4 of them. Oh, he got hit. Is he going to make it? They got him. They got him. Okay. He lived. Now back in here, they're having a little break. Little Sammy at the table there, but they're all dead. Oh, the half zombies that can jump at you. Okay. Oh, right to the face. Okay, dead. Good. Okay, some hatchet guys that are going to start throwing them. Yep. See, too much going on. He's down to 2 health. Okay. Oh, those guys look like Guile to me. They got the yellow crop top. Guile from Street Fighter, I should say. I don't want to assume everybody knows who Guile is. You always want to watch when people enter the screen because they will throw things at you immediately. Good play. Good play. All right. Another rescue. This one should be easier. Yeah, headshots. There it is. Bonus life. And at a good time. All right. Anything glass you want to watch. Things are always going to jump out of the glass, right? All good so far. Gets to the... Oh, I hate stuff on the ceiling. I love the graphics, too. And look at the bullets on the side as he shoots them. They, like, eject. That's really cool. See, when you're playing, you don't ever notice things like that. That's why these videos are great to go back and watch. So there's a guy that runs by the room and throws a bunch of stuff in at you. He's missing that box over there. There, he got it. There's boxes in the back on the left. Oh, there's the coin. Is he not even going to shoot it? Nah, he lost a... There was a gold coin. That's 500 each time you shoot it. Yeah, and he didn't get it. Okay, good guys are throwing monitors. They'll still come at you with no head and 1 arm gone. Shoot that. Okay. Here we go. More bats. Oh, man. He does a really good job with those bats. All right, here we go. Don't shoot the belly. No, get the head. There. All right, we're moving on. What's that smell? Well, what do you think? He just farted. G farts a lot when he shoots. All right, there's stuff hanging. That can't be good. Oh, the whole thing's moving. Uh-oh, you're locked in the arena. We're trapped. Okay, this is a sloth. It's a sloth. It should be slow. It is not slow. And you can only shoot the hands, right? Every time you see the green circle, that's what you have to shoot to take it down. You only get 1 chance to go around this room or this thing is going to kill you. So, I mean, he's shooting when he shouldn't. You've got to wait until the green... there, now you can shoot. Go. Keep going, doing pretty good. About a little less than halfway there. Stop shooting it. You're wasting... Yeah, see, you're wasting your time. Now you have to deal with all these things falling out of the ceiling. If you don't keep shooting it and you wait for the green, you don't have to deal with those. That's a pro tip. So just keep hitting the green only. Very good. Green only. Yep. And he hides back there too. Okay. So look. Oh, see? Shot to the face. Now you're down to 2 health. Green only. Still doing good. Almost there. Stop shooting him. You're going to have to face those things. Yeah, stop that. See, you really don't know as you're playing the game either, by the way, whether that's going to happen or not. You just like, oh, I got keep shooting it. I got all these bullets. It's also funny. You never see any of your characters carrying bullets or ammunition around. We're going to get this guy here in just a second, I think. This will be the run right here. Nope, you got killed. All right, there you go. So the sloth falls, hits the pole, hits another pole, and is gone. Had enough yet? All right, here we go. Let's see the result. S rank. Oh, sweet. So you get 2 extra life for that. So you and my father stopped Curion's plans. Yep. Sure did. That was called House of the Dead 1 and 2. Now you have these 2 extra choices that you didn't choose before. So you can go choose those. Chose the bio plant. Maybe someone's trying to continue his legacy, Kyrion's legacy. And now's when you're breathing and relaxing. You're shaking out your arms. Now you got the gun held back up again at the center of the screen. Oh, here we go. Daniel, have I stepped outside the bounds of human morality? Most of the researchers have left me. Psst! They're making zombies. That's why they left you. Okay. Back out into the action. I don't know. My father always put work ahead of his family. I barely have any memories of him spending time with mom and me. Ouch, that's pretty harsh. Well, what do you expect? He's always making us worry. I should slap him upside the head for mom. Yeah. Respect your mom and dad, huh? Okay, here we go. More monsters coming out of just everywhere. Love the backgrounds here, how they change. It's not just the same ones all the time either. Oh, see what I mean by tentacles? See there? Look, they're just flipping around all over God's green earth. There's no way you can shoot these things with any type of regularity at all. You just have to, what's called spray and pray. You just shoot everywhere and pray that it hits where you need to go. Okay. That dude had some kind of wild thing in his hand. I didn't quite see it. There's all kinds of stuff in the background he should be shooting that he's not. Like that yellow thing there. But see the coin? Yeah, he's not getting the coin. There he goes. I completely forget about I don't care how many zombies are on the screen. When that coin's there, I'm shooting it. I'm putting every bullet I can into it. The more you shoot it, even the higher value points you get. And I get really tired of the things that are throwing barrels at you all the time. Can't stand those things. All right, here's another rescue. Can you make it? What I always love is the people are on the ground and they've got guns and they're not using them. Pretty crazy. All right, chainsaw dude. More. Oh my gosh, the bane of my existence. Can't stand those things. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. There's the dudes that come and throw the axes and then run off the screen. More tentacle arm dudes. See, that's what you do. Just blast them out of the pipe before they can ever even come out. All right, finally we're out. But what the hell is that thing? I believe it's called a boss. Lisa, this way. Jump down. I'm not ready to be pushing up daisies just yet. See, that is Academy Award winning dialogue. I mean, this thing has 3 different weak points. And so far, yeah, you see the red, yellow, and blue. So got the yellow, got the blue. The red's still there. He's got to take the red out or he's not going to kill it. At the same time, these things are in the water. Oh, that's the tentacle. Yeah, I would hate this level with a passion. Oh, now the red and the blue are back. And more tentacles. Look, I mean, look at that. This dude's he had 7 health and he's already down to 5 in this one encounter. More tentacles. Oh my gosh. Love the sound though, and the sound design in this game with the bullets. Bam, 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 and the different guns sound differently, and I love the look. A lot of people that I know that play rail shooters tell me, I wish the reticle wasn't on the screen. It takes me out of the game, and I'm like, yeah, play them. You play one without one time and see if you can even get off the first screen. You can't. They're a must. There are some games that I've seen emulated where you can turn the reticles off, and it's just a total nightmare.
I never was any good at gardening.
I was never any good at gardening.
It looks like it'll open if we shoot it.
All right, well, just another minute or 2 here of the gameplay, and then we will move on to Donkey Kong Country 3. So let's see here. What do they got? Oh man, yeah, I hate these beetles too. Look, they're just all over the screen. Yeah, I'm not a big bug fan. More dudes with barrels, more guiles. One more rescue. Hey, how about you use that gun you're holding? Nah, just run away. Okay. Couple more tentacle dudes. We're almost done. Oh, chainsaw dude. We finally made it out with an A rank. All right. That, my friends, was the House of the Dead series. I cannot speak highly enough about the House of the Dead series at all. The House of the Dead series goes down with me as something that I play as often as I possibly can. Of course, these days mostly emulated, but they do have a House of the Dead. I think it might be 4 at my local Dave and Buster's, so I can play a little bit there. All right, time to move on and let my mind drift into Donkey Kong Country 3. Let's just dive right into the facts here. This was developed by Rare, who um, definitely specialized in this type of game for Nintendo. Nintendo was the publisher, and this was released a year before the House of the Dead game in 1996. It's considered a platformer, and this basically is the culmination of the series. It's the third game in the series. I believe it's the most atmospheric of the entire trilogy. I think it's the best looking. I think it's the best playing. I like the levels the most. This has so many more secrets than the rest of them. You know, there's an area called the Northern Cremasphere for Kremlings, and it actually feels like a real place. There's forests and waterfalls and mountains and factories and lakes. The music is kind of gentle and mysterious and almost melancholic. It's a game also that doesn't rush you. You can take your time. This is on the total other end of the spectrum away from the House of the Dead. This game invites you to, hey, look around, take your time, see what you can find. You know, the premise here is you're always two Kongs, and they have different powers. And in this one, you've got like a baby Kong. And if you take him and throw him up in the air on certain spots when he lands on the ground, he will bust the ground open. And there might be like a floating barrel down there that takes you to a bonus level, or there might be coins or all kinds of things. And then you also have the girl Kong whose hair acts like a helicopter and spins her up. To basically higher places. You can also have Baby Kong grab her and throw her up and let her use her helicopter to land to get up to places that are just hidden at the top. You can barely see. You know, I can remember first renting Donkey Kong Country 3 from my Blockbuster. I remember getting it home and popping it into my SNES. And remember, I'd played the other two already, so kind of knew what I was expecting. But the moment the overworld music started, it felt different. I just felt like they had made this whole new world. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't loud or flashy. It was kind of quiet and mysterious and a little lonely feeling actually. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the graphics for the time again were chef's kiss. Beautiful and amazing. This truly was the culmination of this series, and in my opinion, they saved the best for last. I truly believe this is the best game in the series. Now, of course, this is a replay game. Right? I play this game and replay these all the time. I have them on my Switch too, as well. And years later, I remember replaying Donkey Kong Country 3 during kind of a, let's just call it a rough season of life. And I was down and I had some extra time on my hands and I just jumped into the game, and something about its gentle pacing and the sense of exploration. I don't know what it was there, but I was finding all the secrets too. And the game has warm colors, and it just almost felt like therapy. It just reminded me of being a kid all over again when I'd rented the game the first time from Blockbuster, when the world just felt much simpler. So, Donkey Kong Country 3 is a game about exploration. It's about curiosity and the quiet joy of discovery. Dixie Kong, the blonde, is graceful and creative. Kiddy Kong is heavy and powerful. And together they form this perfect metaphor for balance. Then you have the brothers Bear, who adds warmth and community to the game. The overworld has mystery. Most people never even bother to look around on the overworld. They would simply go to the obvious places. I don't know. Maybe something good happens if you look around. The music adds emotional depth as well. I love the music. I loved all the music in all the Donkey Kong Country games. I even have the soundtracks. I don't listen to a lot of video game music soundtracks. This is a soundtrack that I have in my playlist. It's a game that whispers its themes at you instead of shouting them. You know, Donkey Kong Country 3 here is the quietest in the series, and it's the most introspective entry in the trilogy. I think, to me, that's what makes it special. This truly is a game about wandering around and getting lost, finding your own way. Again, all the levels are atmospheric and they're alive, and the music is reflective. And again, the pacing is gentle. It's not frenetic. Dixie's helicopter spin is a personality trait. It shows she's graceful, adaptive, and creative. Again, to counterbalance that, Kiddy Kong's weight adds contrast. He's clumsy and slow, but he's powerful. And he's used to find many, many of the secrets for the eagle-eyed player. The brothers Bear turn the world into a community, and the side quests add warmth and charm. The themes here are family, rescue, and perseverance, and they're all woven very subtly into every level. The game just whispers at you, come explore. It's almost like an all-inclusive vacation resort package that you're about to dive into in video game form. And that whisper is powerful. So why does the game matter? Who cares? It's just another Donkey Kong Country game. Well, it matters because it represents the end of an era. This was the final great platformer of the 16-bit generation. It was the last breath of the SNES, the last masterpiece of Rare's 16-bit era. It was the last time a Donkey Kong game would feel like this. Well, until Bonanza. It reminds me of a time when games didn't need to be massive to be meaningful, when exploration didn't require a total open world game, when storytelling didn't even require cutscenes, and when music didn't need an orchestra to make you tap your foot. The game just matters because it's pure. It's pure in design, it's pure in creativity, and it's pure in heart. Now, just a few did you knows, and let's take a look at some of the gameplay, shall we? Love those boring opening. And then this, I don't know, you guys aren't old like me. We used to have these toys that would do this. There would be little music making chimes at the bottom, and I think they were called calliopes maybe, and as you would turn it, it would play a song. At any rate, let me share some music, not music, trivia with you before we actually go and watch the game. So banana birds unlock the true ending in this game. That's a little pro tip from me to you. Please find the banana birds. And I think multiple times in the game, the characters in the cutscenes will tell you that. There's a gyrocopter, and it's hidden behind a secret quest. I wonder if you can find it. Coin, the character Coin, he's an alligator, He has a bucket over his head and a shield. Can only be beaten by throwing a steel keg behind him that will roll off something and come this way and beat him. And the soundtrack, this is again why I have the soundtrack. It actually contains hidden reverse audio messages. I wonder what those could be. I wonder how you could find out. All right, so let's just take a look at the game. Once again, we're here where you can use the motorboat or leave the cabin, and the surf shop. So they're gonna pull up to the first level, Lake Orangutanga, and Lakeside Limbo is the first level. And right away you can see that there's something up there, and boom, he throws her up. And there's a 1-up right off the bat. And there's another 1-up. You can't even see them. He's got the K letter already. Hitting the mousers. Uh-oh. There's a B there. How do you get to it? You throw him up. Boom. Now you're in it. Now you get to go to a secret level. And you collect 50 stars. And there they are. So you get the high ones first. Go down and grab the low ones. One more trip with the helicopter. Up, and a few more, and you got it. Go grab the coin. The B coins. And you're back in the game. There's an O down there. There's one of those. There's a coin character. She throws it behind him and hits him. And she got the DK coin. That's why he's called coin. There's bananas up there. She missed some bananas, but you can barely see that 1-up balloon up there that she hit. In the water, you can stay underwater as long as you want. There's the N in Kong. There's an up ahead. We see the B barrel for the next level. You can't break the thing on top of it to get to it. Here you have to grab 15 bananas, and they're green bananas. So you jump on the wire and you see the top one. Now another one, and yet another one, and then sometimes they're on the bottom. These are easy, guys. Anybody can walk through these with no problem whatsoever. These aren't meant to be challenging at all. Just to show you that, we have a bunch of mini games that you've never seen before. We're going to make the first few easy, and trust me, they get darn near impossible the longer you go. Alright, so now we're off that. There's our first animal, the elephant, who is scared, by the way. Oh, there you go, Kong. And so that thing had a letter in it. The elephant can pick up barrels with his trunk. Oh, there, notice how she went into the cabin and got a big thing of bananas, and that's the end of the first level. The elephant, if it sees mice, will literally run away from you. And so you've got to make sure that you're not in the where the mice are. Those mice like that right there. So you pull down on those things, and again, more mice will come. There's a coin up there hidden. You can see it. You can throw him up to get it. More mice, more pull down to open the other door. Oh. There's some bees, so you just watch the pattern. Can't touch those bees. There was a rope up there, but we're going to pass it so that we can come back here, throw him up. Okay. And go over and get our 1-up and the bonus level. Collect 60 stars. Guess what? Still very simple. Just jump. You got to get them all in this room first. Right? Open the door, go into the next room, and then finish it off. Then you got to open the door again and get out and get the coin. There you go. Very good. So we move on. And there's that rope we saw earlier. Up. A little bit more of those. Sends the bees down. Through the door. Up and down again, which brings the platform. More bananas. Through there. A barrel. Barrel can shoot you to the left. But you got to go up to open the door first. Then they could have went to the barrel and had it shot them all the way through, but they didn't. They got lucky there. They actually did hit that bee, but it didn't do anything. Up and over it, another hidden level. Look how many hidden levels in this game. Bonus levels. Right? This time you're finding a coin. So up, and up and up and up and up and up and going. Pretty simple. Again, nothing too hard in the bonus levels just yet. Okay, more mice. Another thing to pull down, get the bananas. There's your N for Kong. Now we're doing the barrel game again. Up, up, oh, you missed. Up, up. That will open this door so you come down. So you can go through. Down, there's another door opening somewhere. Got your G. Oh, is that door? There we go. Pull it, go. Got it. Big jump down. Don't know what we're facing. So this is all scary. Anything could be down there. Okay, and we got us another. Whenever you see one of those, you can certainly bet our friend Coin is there, who gives you the DK coin. Threw the barrel down. You want to do your helicopter. They got a green balloon that time. And the end of the level. All right here. Hello, Kongs. Would you like your... Okay. That shows game saved. To find some nice banana birds. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was all just first level. You can swim around here. You can go anywhere you want. There's a bunch of places you can go to check that they missed a ton of stuff. All right. See, that's kind of an arrow pointing up. So throw her up. Grab that. And that's how you kill him to get your coin. Up again, you can jump on these things' heads if you want. Okay. Go under the fish. Go over this. You can go up. Oh, there's one of these things, the green things in the barrels. They're kind of a little hard to kill the first time. Okay, and there you get your fish. Now you're going to turn into a fish here. And when you hit your button, you lunge forward. You would kill anything that you hit with your nose. But it went into a bonus barrel. Back to collecting 30 stars. This is like dirt simple to do with this fish. It's like 2 jabs across the screen and you finish it. And get your coin. Okay. And now, when you hit one of that no sign, it means, okay, you can't use your animal anymore. So you jump up. You're jumping up to get the bananas. Hey, I don't know why they missed that one. Good. Uh-oh, out of there. Go down, go back up. And up again, down. Up, down. Up. Yep, there you got it. Gives you the end. Whirly bird to the bonus, another bonus. This game is so full of bonus levels. This one's bash the baddies. So you got to kill them. So hop, hop. Should have kept hopping forward. Hop, hop. Get them all? Yep. That timer made that one a little bit more difficult. All right, back into the water. Up, down, up, back down, back down. Go on, you're fine. Tough jump there, but you can just stop and go up. Now you got Kong. Up and up. And there's a green thing. They could have just let it pass by me, would have ran right into the water. And then jump to, oh, watch this. Up. There you go. Hidden up arrow, which they didn't even go into. They went to the point of showing you it was there and then didn't go into it. I wonder what's in there. Something else for you to find out. All right, next level. Snow. Oh, the bane of my existence are snow levels. I really don't like snow levels. But they seem to breeze through this one. Love the snowman in the background. Just kind of moving along. No problems here. Getting the bananas. Making sure not to hit anything. There's another bonus level. Once again, bash the baddies. So twirl your hair. All she has to do is twirl her hair here. Yep, easy. Win. Okay. Back out, got the O, twirl. More twirl, always twirling. Always be twirling. Up, jumping. Not good. Twirling is. Got your coin. Nice long hops there. Couple of kills. More bananas. Oh, see the bonus up there? You can barely see the barrel. Finding the coins. These are always pretty simple. Doing a good job of taking everything out first, though, which is good. More points. There's your banana bunch. Another barrel that you could have used, but didn't use it properly. Nope. Nope. There you go. One more. Nope. Got the G. And end of level. Nice and crisp. Nice and easy. Nice and quick. Come around the corner to Murky Mill. Gee, up pointing arrow. I wonder what that means. Gotta go up. Look at all the bananas they're missing. They're not even trying. Okay, so we got the elephant. Now here is where you got the light. When the rats get in the light and he can see them, he's scared of them. He's not until he can see them. In the dark, he can't see them. But if he would have gotten one right there, he would have been in bad shape. So he can use his nose and suction to bring barrels in. So he'll keep the barrel in front of his eyes so he won't see the rats. And he can also use them to hit things with. He can move forward. So jumping over some things. Yes, he found a hatch. See, there's been a bunch of these hatches. If you go back and watch this, you'll see how many that they actually missed. This is the first one that they hit. He's just using barrel after barrel to kill these things. And then he gets the coin. All right, get your barrel, kill the rats so that you can move on. Dive off. Okay, you always throw that behind them. Goes and kills them, you get your DK coin. Back up to the bridge. Whoops. Missed him entirely. Back. Good moves. Another barrel in the nose. That will kill the rat. Got the N. Just need the G. That looked like the word yes up there. Oh, pardon me. Here we go. Yeah, notice how he's sucking that barrel in to kill the thing below him so he can go into the barrel. To once again find the coin. I mean, whoever is doing the play here in this gameplay is very good. I mean, these are hard jumps for a lot of people. That elephant's a big sprite, and to get it between those things is not easy. He just did it twice like a master. All right, so he's going back. Taking out the rats. There's his G, so he's got Kong. He knows better to stay around there for too long. And there we go. That's the end of another level. And now Swanky's Sideshow. So this is a game tent that you can play the games, right? My show's on, and it's on every so often. There's some great after today. Come on, Congo, and have a go. You can click on select style. You can play head to head, race to 25, or endurance. Each game. This is just a little you playing against the computer, and you're trying to just throw baseballs at targets. That's all. You have somebody that you have to hit. So it comes up, boom, missed. Up, boom. So you just move left and right and then press your throw button. I mean, the computer's not doing great either. Boom, right away, she wins. So all that for a really quick, nice, fun bonus game that you can continue. You just keep playing. Check all these bananas and coins and stuff he gets for that. What a rush. So you leave the tent. Where else are you going to go now? Belch's Barn. Okay, we're nearing toward the end of this video. You can go down through there. There's this barrel that opens his mouth. You throw barrels in it. He chomps them and belches backward. You want to keep moving this guy backwards. You hit a barrel and a bug falls out. You throw the bug in his mouth. He chews, moves backwards, rinse and repeat 2 times. He is dead. That was Belch's Barn. Now, notice they were put into a cannon and shot out back toward the beginning. Now they can move on and go to somewhere else. All right, friends. So, both of these games, The House of the Dead and Donkey Kong Country 3, they represent 2 sides of the same decade. One side is chaos, one is calm, one is fearful, one's comforting, one's loud, one's gentle, but both of them remind us of something very, very important. These aren't just games. Once again, how many times have you heard me say this? They're memories. They're emotional anchors. They're reminders of times when things were simpler and we had hours upon hours we could just play games. They're snapshots of who we were at a time when we first played them. And sometimes revisiting them helps us to revisit ourselves. So friends, that's the end of the episode this week. I hope you enjoyed both games, the House of the Dead series and Donkey Kong 3. I want to thank you again so much for spending some time with me. And if you did enjoy this episode, would you pretty please consider hitting the like and the subscribe buttons below? It literally just takes a second. It doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps with getting this little unknown channel noticed. Then why not tell your friends about it? Share it with someone who you know that maybe grew up in the 90s, or someone who remembers the arcades, the blockbuster nights, the glow of their CRT screens. And then be sure to come back next week when I'll once again be sharing whatever my mind takes me to with you. So let me ask you this. Have I told you about the House of the Dead and Donkey Kong Country 3 and why they rock? Well, now I have. So I'll see you back here next week. And until then, take care, be kind, and always keep playing your games because your backlogs get lonely. See you next week.